Hello, my name is Gerg7Adler, and as your Phi Mu Alpha LCS League Commissioner, it is my honor and privilege to bring to you today our PMA LCS Season 3 Mid-Season Update. It's been a very exciting split for us through these first 5 weeks, and it's been arguably one of the most competitive splits. The first split we've utilized a draft system, the first split we've utilized new tiers, and we've already seen a lot of rule changes and things to help improve the league. In this video today, I'm going to discuss those things we've done to improve the league and things we're looking to do going forward to help improve us and how you can help with that. First off, this is just a general list of things we've improved. We'll go into more detail as the video goes along. Number 1, the draft system, and referencing along that. Number 2, BM, quote-unquote, bad-mannered and behavior and the rules that affect that. Number 3, communication between teams and more specifically captains. Number 4, rules on substitutions and making that a better system overall. Number 5, an improved tier list and a more accurate tier list. Number 6, retention, recruitment, and the public image. So I'd like to start today with the draft system. I think this has been arguably the focal point of the split and something that really kind of defines where we've been so far. So I'd like to discuss the pros. Number 1, an overall larger competitive environment. We're seeing teams practice more, we're seeing teams get involved more, different pick ban strategies coming out, and I think that's overall increased the competitiveness of the league. Number 2, more equally balanced teams. Because of the draft system and kind of just the natural process of the draft, we're seeing less and less stomps than we have in years past. Yes, there are games where it does happen, and yes, there are teams that are more dominant than others, but overall, we're seeing a more even level, balanced playing field across the board. And number 3, tons of involvement. This kind of piggybacks off of the competitive environment, but due to the draft and the competitive environment, we've seen a lot more player involvement. We've seen teams practicing daily, teams asking for scrims, asking for coaches to help them out, and I think that really attributes to the competitive environment and to the draft, and I think it's overall made this a really fun and competitive league. Couple of cons I'd like to address and things we're looking to improve going forward. Number 1, attitudes and bad-mannered behavior. I think with the increase of the competitive environment, stress levels raise, the pressure on people to produce in their games rises, and I think due to that we see a little bit of negative behavior when teams loses, or some bad-mannered things in all chat. I really think that just comes down to remembering why we're in the league. We're in here to improve. We're in it to have some camaraderie with our brothers. We're all in this just to play some League of Legends. I think it really stems down from the top down. So if the captains act this way and myself and the moderators act this way, I think we can help to make that a better change. Lower tier players. So what I mean by this one is the exclusion of lower tier players. I think for me a big reason of why they did not get drafted, well, nonetheless, unfortunately the draft is set up in a way where players are going to miss out on that. It's set up to usually the higher ranked players will get drafted. But to improve that in the future, I'd like to organize events ahead of the draft that allow people to play with each other more, allow potential captains to meet these players, figure out what their play style is. Maybe it's someone they'd want to pick up that's a sleeper pick. So just allowing more opportunities for these players to meet each other. And then number 3 con for me is forced captains, and that is that the top 10 ranked people are automatically made captain. We haven't come up with a fix to this yet, but I'd like a system where they don't necessarily have to be the captain. I know some people voiced their opinion that they didn't want to do that necessarily. They didn't want to be the drafters. Currently, right now, that's in a pending process how to fix that. We're open to ideas, obviously, but that's something we want to look at going forward. All right, so bad-mannered rules or bad-mannered behavior and the rules that will accompany them. So as I said before, with the increase of the competitive nature, we've seen some unbrotherly behaviors. So now, the difference from before, the beginning of the split, is if a brother is promoting some unbrotherly behavior or bad-mannered behavior, teams or players will be allowed to report this player for review. They'll just have to get a recording of a VOD from what happened, and then provide their report, and then we'll vote on it to see if any kind of punishments should be made. But with that being said, captains may agree to BM before the game in a friendly manner. Maybe some fun question mark pings, stuff like that, all chat, banter, all within reason. We're all here to be friends. We're all here to just have a good time. We don't want anyone tilting, hopefully. It's just all about a fun environment. And so going off of that, promoting unity. We that's what this league is about. We're just all trying to come together and play some League of Legends. So team communication. I know team communication and scheduling has been something we've really been trying to improve since the first split. Ways we've gone to fix that so far, utilizing the when to meet service. I think this is a great way to get everyone's schedule in one place, nice and organized, other than just passing back messages between captains. Number two, it is now required from captains to have communication every day. Whether it be, oh, how is your team filling out this when to meet, missing a couple of people there, this person's schedule has changed. I've noticed that Friday is a great day to work. So just constant communication, discussing where everyone's at with the scheduling. And then number three, allowing for flexibility. We understand that you have busy lives. We understand that you're adults and you have things going on that get in the way of this. We allow teams to maybe move their match back a day or two after the week. Or if we know a player will be away for a week, we allow them to move the date. Or it's just about flexibility. We're all adults. We all have our busy lives. We all just have to work together to have the best league possible and allow for the least scheduling conflicts. Substitutions. So this has been a very big discrepancy, this split, and something that once it kind of got brought up, I wanted to tackle right away. So now we have a new rule where players must utilize subs from an equal tier of the player needing a substitute or one lower. This will allow for more opportunity for subs to be used. It'll be great for those that are maybe a lower tier that won't get picked necessarily. So this is just an overall improvement. It makes it so that needing a substitute is more of a hindrance on your team, as it should be, because you're removing your starting player. And it almost just makes the system a little more streamlined and makes a little more sense. With that being said, now we have the rule that captains may voice discrepancy on substitutes. So if a team is opting to use a sub and the captains can't agree on it, it can be brought to vote in the captain's chat or the analytics chat to discuss the voting on that, whether we think that sub is appropriate, whether we think another sub would be appropriate, and just kind of discussing that and allowing the captains to voice if they have concerns. And then lastly, informing the opposing captain of a substitute prior to the match. I think it's important for team planning to know exactly who you're going against. So requiring the captains to report this at least 24 hours in advance allows for better planning. All right, so the tier list, another one of our big focal points this split, but something I think that has really improved the league overall. So we've actually revamped the tier list a little bit. Now it actually goes solely off of your ranking. It's only off of your ranking. The reason for this is because we thought that the system before wasn't balanced properly enough to allow for an equal placing. Some categories were weighted. First off, they were all weighted exactly the same. And because of that, some people that might have had a lot of champion mastery would get ahead of someone that just had a higher rank just due to the way they were weighted. So we decided to revamp it, just organize it all by ranking, and we found, based on the analytics chat and the captain's chat, that this new system is a pretty balanced system, and we'd like to give it a shot for the remainder of the season. So Tier 4 is now only captains and Hiramar. Hiramar, being one of the high platinum ranked players, fits into that category. So that means that if a captain needs a sub, they can only be subbed out by other captains or the higher elo substitutes. That way it's all on the same level right there, and it kind of provides that equal playing field for when captains are needed to be subbed. The changes to the tiers overall benefit the system. You might see your rank go down 1, you might see it go up a little bit. Overall, it just provides a more equally balanced substitution system. You'll see the players in your tier are now more appropriate to your playing level and your playing skill than they were before. And moving all the captains to tier 4 and Hirmar and moving everyone down that wasn't that, it provided just a more balanced playing field and allowed for a wider range of substitutes to be involved. As I mentioned before, captains voicing discrepancies. That allows for, if a captain still thinks it's an unfair advantage in a certain tier, they can voice their opinion and we can go into discussion on that. So if anyone is looking to find out your improvement or, your tier change, the current roster sheet pinned on the PMA LCS page has all the updated rosters or all the updated tiers for the substitutes and for the teams. So we're always looking to improve, so if you have any questions, concerns, you feel free to shoot me a message, and we can openly discuss this. So this is just an overall show of all the changes that happened. I didn't include the substitutes here. This is just the main players. This is mainly just people you'll see going down from tier 4 to tier 3, some changes 3 to 2. This is overall just off of ranking, just balancing the system accordingly. It's still... The people that could sub for you before are pretty much the same people that can sub for you now. So that has not much changed across the board. It just, like I said, it's an overall more balanced system now. So recruitment, retention, and our public image. This is something I really, really want to work on within our league. I think that number one, posting on province pages and just advertising that we exist is so important. I posted on the Symphonian page a couple days ago, and we have like 17 new followers on the stream. Just by doing that, people join that group and other associated groups such as our province groups on the daily. So just always advertising to them, always advocating to our group can really help us grow and just bring more people into our community. Creating fun events for brothers to participate in. This is more on the PMA SGN LOL side rather than the LCS side. But the weekend tournament that we have, the weekend where we gave away a mystery skin for playing together, just creating these events that promote that brotherly bonding through League of Legends and getting people to play together. And then lastly is the public PMA LCS Facebook page. We have like 150 likes there. And with our stream averaging about 20 viewers, we could really, really grow and become something huge. And it all comes down to just advertising and just talking about the stream, talking about our groups. Just word of mouth really helps us out a lot. So looking forward, these are a list of things that I So this list right here is a list of things I'd like to improve going through the last 5 weeks of the split. So number one, the Symphonian Music Collection. We've been using the Monster Cat SoundCloud because Twitch has copyright issues, but we'd like to collect a giant playlist of Symphonian created music that we could play on stream. Non-copyrighted music. We think it would be a great way for brothers to advertise for themselves, to kind of get themselves out there. I think it would benefit both of us. It would show that, Phi Mu Alpha is the life of having a cat. Anyway, so it would be getting back to Symphonian Music Collection. It would be a great way to promote our fraternity outside of just the LCS. We'd provide music for each other, and we would be able to give free publicity. A streamlined streaming service and casting. Lately, I've been talking to Giovanni Baez a lot about streaming. We've been kind of coming up with a uniform system we'd like to use for everybody. Just something that when someone wants to stream, they know exactly where to get all of the information. I know Austin Weber created that guide on how to stream, but we want to have everything in one place, the overlays, how to do everything. So that's something I'm looking to improve on going forward as well. Number 3, overall more improved communication. Talking to the players more, finding out what you want from me, how we can make things better communication between captains, just everyone talking to each other. That's very crucial. Everyone just open communication. If you have a concern or something you'd like to voice it, you are always welcome to. Partnership. That kind of just goes into us working together here. But partnership specifically speaks about, I'd like to get the Twitch stream partnered. We need to average 70 viewers per stream, which is obviously a stretch for us at this point. But if every single person that played in the match advertised their stream on their Facebook page, I feel like we could get at least 10 more viewers per stream. So just something to think about. If you want to see the future of this group grow and you want to see us become really massive and a big thing, it's going to come down to just word of mouth from within. So, questions, comments, or concerns, please, at any time, feel free to voice your concerns to your captain, another player to speak to me, or even myself. I'm always open to comments, any, critiques, anything at all you think will improve the league. You feel free to shoot me a private message with why you think it would improve the league and evidence to back it up, and I will discuss it with you openly, and I'll provide you my opinion, and we'll just talk it out. That's very crucial. It all just comes down to communication. We're all in this together, as High School Musical Zac Efron once said. And lastly, thank you, everybody. So I can't begin to tell you how much fun I've had this split so far. It has been a blast. I can tell how much fun everyone's having, and I can tell that everyone really enjoys it. And off of that, this is actually December 15th was the first day the rosters were created for our very first splits. So it's been a year since our very first split, and that's pretty exciting to see where we've come and how far we've, grown. And I just wanted to thank all of you for your participation. This league would be nothing without all of you. It wouldn't be anything at all. You guys make this the blast that it is. Being able to play with you every single day and being able to have the fun trash talk between teams and all this stuff, it's just a group that I love. And this is really my biggest connection to Symphonia, and it's all because of you. So thank you for everything you all do every day. Thank you so much for promoting this league and participating in it. And thank you for putting the trust in me to do right by this league. So I appreciate all of you, and thank you very much. Like I said, any comments, questions, concerns, feel free to shoot me a message. But other than that, this is your fearless leader, Greg 7 Adler, tuning out.